Present.
Member Thompson?
Present.
Member Wojcinski?
Present.
Member Klein?
Present.
Member Lehman?
Present.
And I know that Member Webb had sent a message saying he was going to be absent. And then Member Solner.
Here. Okay, well, we have adequate number of members to have a quorum. So the first item then, the next item is approval of the December 1st regular meeting minutes. Some of you members might have attended that. Unfortunately, I didn't, but I did read the minutes. But I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes or ask if anybody has questions. Member Thompson has a motion to approve. All right, second. Member Frederick, any other questions or discussion? If not, then roll call vote.
Member Friedrich?
Yes.
Member Wojcinski?
Yes.
Member Thompson?
Yes.
Member Klein?
Yes.
Member Lehman?
Yes.
Chairman Solner?
Yes. Okay, next thing is the payment of the bills or transfers. I got a letter from the auditor saying that she approved she recommended the approval or the adoption. First off, does anybody have any questions on any of the bills? I do have a couple, I guess. Jerry, on page 4 of 11, I was just going to mention there's bills to City of Bloomington and Lexington Township. I was just wondering if you could kind of give us a brief rundown on why we're paying other governmental units.
Sure. So the City of Bloomington bills are for maintaining the signal lights on Tawana Barnes Road. So they maintain them as far as if they got to change out lenses or if something happens to them. And it's based on the proportion of how many legs of the intersection each entity has. So and that's usually done quarterly. I think we ended up paying two quarters of 2020 at this time. And then Lexington Township Road District. So with the townships, during the summertime, a lot of the townships will chip the county roads for us as they're chipping their own roads. And so Lexington Township did that for us on Lexington East a lot this year because that was where a lot of the wind farm traffic was going. And so there, we supply the rock, and this is kind of the labor for Lexington Township to do that work.
Okay, and then the other question I had was on page 11 of 11, and again, we're paying Lawndale Township $8,778. Again, I just was curious what that was.
So this actually isn't coming from the highway department. This is from the motor fuel tax fund of the townships. And so this is a lot of the townships, they do labor and equipment for snow plowing or different things that they do throughout the year. And so this expenditure is taking money from their MFT account to pay their labor and equipment back to the township. And then some of the other items that are on that list there on page 11 are materials that are paid out of the motor fuel tax fund for the townships.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, if not, then did we get a motion on that? I don't know. Okay. All right, we're ready to vote then. Roll call vote.
No, I don't have a motion. I need a motion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right.
I'm sorry.
Klein? Is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
All right. Second? Member Lehman? All right. Any other discussion? Okay, roll call vote then, please.
Member Friedrich?
Yes.
Member Wojcinski?
Yes.
Member Thompson?
Yes.
Member Klein,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Solner.
Yes. Next item, do we have any appearances by members of the public?
We do not, Chairman Soldner.
All right, very good. Okay, we'll go on to the rest of the agenda then. Under departmental matters, 5A1, request approval of a resolution for the December 18, 2020 material letting. I would start out by asking for a motion. Member Thompson, second. Member Klein. All right, Jerry, do you want to lead us on that?
Sure. So this is our kind of annual material letting that we do every year for where we get a price on certain materials, different types of aggregate mainly for that we use on culverts, shoulders, chipping roads, things like that. Also on here was the rebidding of our culvert pipe that we do, and we do a lot of crossword culverts on county highways and for townships, and so this allows us to establish a price throughout the year and for various sizes, and that covers metal pipe and plastic pipe. We use plastic pipe for like if we run into field tile or other miscellaneous drainage that we can get by with using plastic. And so we bid all, so we contact all these quarries, and all these quarries put a bid out or put quotes out, and kind of it depends on where we're working at in the county and the price per ton, and we kind of figure out what it, like a 20 cents per mile mileage rate, and that kind of dictates where we go as far as which quarry we go to. Sometimes we do run into issues where the quarry will not have the correct supply that we need, so we might have to go to another quarry that if we're, depending on what operation we're doing on a particular day.
And so this is a case where you can just go to the quarry and get what you need, as opposed you don't have to have this all stockpiled at any facility?
Correct, yeah. This is where we take our trucks and they load it right on us, and then we take it directly to the job site.
Okay. Any questions on any of that? All right, if not, then I guess we're ready for a vote.
Member Friedrich,
Yes.
Member Wachinski,
Yes.
Member Thompson,
Yes.
Member Klein,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Solner.
Yes. Next item is 5A2, request approval of a resolution for December 22nd, 2020, equipment letting, resolution of surplus property. Motion by someone? Member Klein, second. Anyone? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Member Lehman? All right. Okay, Jerry, you want to lead us on this?
Sure. So this is our, so we have at the highway department, we have 18 tandem trucks. And so we try to replace those anywhere from 8 to 9 years, depending on the year. And so this is replacing our 2 tandem trucks for 21. And as well, we included on this was a sign truck. So our sign truck, this was actually kind of in last year's budget where we were going, our sign truck is actually I have a picture of it if, So here's a picture of our sign truck, and so it's got basically a crane arm that is on the back, and it's got a hammer that we drive the post in the ground. And so one of the issues on this truck is the crane is not remote control, and we had a tragic accident with one of our employees back in 2019 where he was electrocuted. So we were last year in the budget, or in the 2020 budget, we were going to just replace out the crane. But then we got looking at the truck, and we had over 100,000 on the truck, and it was kind of an old international where they have emission problems. So we decided to wait till 21 and replace the whole truck. So for this today's action item is just for the truck and the cab and chassis, and then we'll bid out the crane and the bed and stuff separate.
All right, any questions? So I see this as a Peterbilt. Is that mainly because of the bid, or why did you decide to go to that?
So the two bids we got were from Kenworth and Peterbilt, and we're going with the Kenworths on the tandems. And we have some Kenworths already in stock, and they've performed well. The Peterbilt, we recommend that option because it's actually got an extended cab option that Kenworth does not have. And a lot of times with this when this unit goes out, two people are in the vehicle, and they have an iPad, their manuals, hard hats, their lunch coolers and everything. And so it's kind of a lot of things in the front of the cab. So we were recommending going with the extended cab for the new one.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any more questions? All right. Seeing none, then I guess we're ready. I'm sorry, Member Frederick.
Jerry, what do you think that boom would cost? That'd be as much as a truck, wouldn't it? Nearly. Could
yeah,
be.
It's going to be 60 grand probably.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you'll bid that separate.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Member Lehman.
And then I noticed the bit about declaring the existing vehicle as surplus property for approval January 14th. Yet the sign truck won't arrive, or at least the chassis part won't arrive until 6:15. Is there so? And again, apologies on not knowing all of the convention with this. But is there anything problematic with a gap of going ahead and approving this to be noted as surplus in our possession, yet not having something available and ready to use until later in the year?
Yeah, so the surplus resolution, that's just to declare it surplus. And so when the new one arrives, then we can put that up for sale, like on an auction site or something to that effect. So this allows actually to use it until the new one comes in and is ready to go. We actually had looked at trading it in, and but with us kind of piecemealing this together, we didn't know how the timing would work, and we didn't think that was necessarily fair to the dealer of getting our trade in if we're making him wait, and this allows us to use it and that type of thing. So. Yeah, my guess is that this truck probably won't come in and be ready till maybe October, November of 21. So at that time, then we can put this up for auction.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, we're ready to vote then on that. Roll call vote, please.
Member Friedrich,
Yes.
Member Wachinski,
Yes.
Member Thompson,
Yes.
Member Klein, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Member Klein.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Soldner.
Yes. Motion passes. Next item then is 5A3, request approval of a highway fund resolution for Washington Street and Carlock. And I would entertain a motion to approve that. Member Frederick, second by Member Thompson. Okay, Jerry, take us away, please.
So this is a project that we're doing kind of through the village of Carlock. It's around 1,500 foot long and connects the I-74 interchange there to Route 150. And I do have some pictures of this project as well. And so this project's kind of been on our radar for a little while now, but we haven't done anything the last couple of years because of all the work on I-74 from basically from Goodfield to Carlock. And so this road is getting a lot of traffic. We didn't want to have both construction jobs going on at the same time. But we're looking at milling and overlaying this with hot mix. So this is where the project starts, and we're looking east here, and that's kind of another picture from the same area. So you can see all kind of the cracks and then the road there. And then this is kind of moving forward about a block, and we're gonna add some curb along the edges right here to help improve the drainage and allow people to park in some of these areas that they're already parking at. And so you can kind of see some more of the delamination and cracks that are occurring in this area. And there's just kind of another look at where we got just it goes to the gravel shoulder. And as we're putting this, working on the design now, here's a kind of up closer to 150 where the railroad tracks come in. And then here's another picture looking back to the west, kind of where the project starts at. So this has about 1,800 cars a day on it, so it's fairly heavily traveled, and we're looking about $400,000 or so for this project.
All right. Anyone have questions? I guess I do. Are you going to be able to do this without completely closing the road, or will you have to close it for a while, or how will that work?
No, it'll stay open one lane of traffic for the duration of the project. We'll have to do a little bit of drainage work with our maintenance crews. I'm not anticipating any closures on that as well, but it should all be done under traffic.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. Ready for a roll call vote then?
Member Friedrich,
Yes.
Member Wachinski,
Yes.
Member Thompson,
Yes.
Member Klein,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Soldner.
Yes. Next item is 5A4, Lexington East Road, County Highway 8, Section 20-00031-05-RS. Administrator, can we approve both of these in one motion?
I would say as long as, Department Head Stokes also agrees, I would feel comfortable with that too. Mr.
Yes.
Stokes?
Yes, we can approve both of them.
Yes.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve both A and B. Member Klein, second. Member Thompson. Okay, Jerry, you want to lead us on this?
Sure. So this is a project that is run kind of along with the Blooming Grove wind farm that was done. Where they used 6 miles of Lexington East, and so this project starting at Lexington Leroy and going over to the Colfax Western Road, which is a total of 8 miles. But Blooming Grove used 6 miles of it, and then last year the Bright Sock Wind Farm used 2 miles from just west, the first 2 miles west of the Colfax Western Road. And so so there's a lot of different funding sources in here. We got Bright Sock and then Blooming Grove and then McLean County. And so this was a heavily traveled road with the Blooming Grove Wind Farm. And so we're looking at doing originally we were just going to pulverize it and put an A3 surface back on. as we got looking in the mixed designs, we were going to do, we're looking at a cold in place recycle and what they call full depth reclamation, where they go deeper. And so just because since it was so heavily traveled and kind of some of the damage that was done, we feel like there needs to be a little bit more than just pulverizing it and putting up. So this, so we're working on a design for a full depth reclamation where they would go down about 6 inches, inject oil, and then lay that back out, and then we would come and put a hot mix surface over the top of it.
All right. Any questions? Member Thompson?
So you just mentioned that there was damage done you're referring to the base of the road bed?
Not so much the road bed that was damaged. It was kind of the edge of the pavement. There's a lot of crown in this road to where it's almost, there's no really good way to correct it unless we go down deeper. And so there's a lot of crown. We did a lot of hot mix passing when the wind farm was going on. And we just feel like it's going to be a better road to do the full depth reclamation, to correct the crown and some of the edge cracking that we have going on.
Thanks.
Does this include any culverts or bridges or concrete structures?
It does include a few culverts. We've actually replaced quite a few culverts throughout the years on this road. There's no right of way or anything. We did a bridge back, the Roselands Bridge that's in the middle of this was about in 2015. So that's been done. There will be a few other smaller culverts that we'll have to do, maybe on side roads and a couple other crossroads on our road. But that'll be work that we do with our county day labor forces. And then the contract will just mainly be the hot mix and the full depth reclamation.
Will this be an 80,000-pound road?
Yes.
Okay. And is it an upgrade or is it currently 80,000?
It'll be an upgrade. It's actually oil and chip, so it gets posted at 10 ton throughout the year or during the spring posting periods, which our spring posting periods, we post the roads. Actually, it's an 8-ton road. I'm sorry, because it's an oil and chip road, so it can get posted from January 15th to April 15th when doing with the spring thaws.
And then I assume that it's obvious that this is going to be a heavily traveled road, and especially at harvest and planting time. So I assume you're going to try and work around that.
We are, with this width and stuff, we might try to do everything all in like close down a mile at a time and do the work we need to at that point. But yeah, we'll try to get this all done this summer if we can. I should make note that we are going to skip about 4,300 feet in there. And the reason for that is we were actually have an engineering firm working on a project. There's an S curve about halfway, I think it's right at 3,000 east. And we've had a fair amount of accidents there over the last 10 years. And so we're looking at correcting that curve. And so that's going to involve buying some right of way and redoing the road at that time. And so that might be a project that we do in 22 or 23 in that stretch.
So that will be an additional cost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're exploring some other funding sources for some safety funds on that particular project.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Member Friedrich,
Yes.
Member Wachinski,
Yes.
Member Thompson,
Yes.
Member Klein,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Pullman.
Yes. Our last action item is 5A5, request approval of general engineering service agreement with Lewis, Yaki, and Brown Incorporated. I would entertain a motion. Member Lehman, second. Member Klein. All right, Jerry, you want to lead us on this?
Sure. So Lewis, Yaki and Brown is a local firm here in town, and they do They do kind of just basically miscellaneous survey, for the highway department when we need it, do right of way plats or do some topo work for us if we need to. But one of the main things that they do is what we call section corner preservation, and so that's required by law to when we resurface a road, that they go out beforehand and mark where the section corners of that road is at, where they are located at. They survey them, and then they come back and put them back in the road once it's resurfaced. So that's a lot of what they do, and just kind of whatever else that we need. They might do some work right away layout for us on a bridge project if we need it, and or legal descriptions as we move forward on something.
Any questions? I see that on page 29 has their hourly rate. So in other words, if you just have a small project, they come in and do the engineering and bill us whatever their hourly charges would be.
That's correct.
All right. And do you know, has there been an increase or where we at as far as these rates go from last year?
I didn't look specifically at them. I think a couple of them, they usually, take a few of them and that, they go up like $5 a year. And then the next year, the other ones will go up. So they don't necessarily move them all up the same amount each year. But I do believe that there was an increase on a couple of these.
And then I guess my last question, are they competitive with other engineers, do you believe?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the different engineering companies kind of have the same rates, type of rates anyway. The titles might be different and that type of thing. So sometimes it's hard to compare apples to apples. But they're typically all around this amount.
And again, my own personal opinion, I like the fact they are local. I think that's a good thing also.
Yeah, they're very responsive. If we call something, they'll like to have it back to us in a couple weeks.
All right. Any questions? Okay, if not, then I guess we're ready for a roll call vote.
Member Friedrich,
Yes.
Member Wojcinski,
Yes.
Member Thompson,
Yes.
Member Klein,
Yes.
Member Lehman,
Yes.
Chairman Solner.
Yes. So now we're ready to move on to 5B, items to be presented for information. And the first one is report on positions recently filled. Ms. Rodriguez, is that your department?
I can answer any questions that the membership has about this document.
Anyone have any questions on those items? If not, then we'll go on to the next item, which is B2, project summary, Shinoa and the Park Culvert Pipeline Road. And Jerry, would you like to do that?
Sure. So Shinoa was the Shinoa project we did Division Street in town for about a 3-block stretch, and it was a kind of a full reconstruction project. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of that. This is kind of update. I brought this through last month. I thought we were finalized on the final price, but we had an error in one of the quantities, so this is actually the final price that we ended up for the project. I think it was like a 16,000 or so increase from last month. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then the Park Culvert is a bridge that we did on a Pipeline Road, just outside Normal. And I do have a couple pictures of that. So this was kind of right after it was done, but so this was there was a double box culvert beforehand, and then we ended up going with a quadruple precast box when it was installed, and we kind of smoothed out. There was a curve. I won't be able to tell in that picture, but there was a curve up here that was fairly tight, and so we kind of smoothed all that out and made the transitions a lot better. And so this is the price that we're at now. We're working on the contractor to get final quantities and everything, but project turned out good. We ran into a couple roadblocks, but it turned out good in the end.
All right. Any questions on that? Okay, thank you, Jerry. So that's all that we have on the agenda. I just had a couple things. First, I was going to ask Ms. Rodriguez if she had anything else to add.
Chairman Soldner, no, I do not. Thank you for asking.
All right. Another comment I wanted to make was that, so we've had a little bit of taste of winter weather, and I think members, at least I'd be interested if you'd run into any mechanical problems or anything else with the amount of snow removal that we've dealt with here in the past couple of days.
Sure. So we actually fared out really well on this storm. We put a lot of hours in. I think it was on New Year's Day, it was 11 hours, and then like around 5 hours on Saturday and Sunday. But no issues with any damage to anything. We were able to still get through all our routes with all the low-hanging power lines or trees down. We had to push some trees off with our snow plows on the edge of the road, and we'll have to go back and clean those up, as we get time. There might be one truck that's in the shop right now. I don't really know exactly what's going on with it, but the rest of the trucks are running well and had no issues, and everything went well.
Do we still have employees that take trucks home, snow plows home?
We do, yeah. So they actually, a lot of the guys took their plows home on Thursday night, New Year's Eve night, and so then that way they're ready to go out to their territory. And we have 18 plow trucks and 18 different routes, and each person has about 20 miles or so, 20 to 25 miles for their particular route. And so a lot of them, we try to get their routes close to home, and so then they can just go right out there and start working. And especially on the storm on Friday with the freezing rain, not sure what time it was going to come, and trying to get out ahead of that as we went along there, really helps us out. So just kind of depends on what we expect and the forecast and what kind of event we're looking at.
And how many motor graders do we have?
We currently have 3 motor graders. We don't really use those a lot anymore for plowing snow unless we really get in a bind, but we do have them hooked up to plow snow if we need it. If we do get too many trucks broken down or things start freezing up on us, we can get those graders going.
And then I know with the virtual classroom, it's a little different now, but I assume that when I was on the committee before, you communicate with the rural school districts as far as whether to cancel school or whatever. Do you still do that?
Yeah, we haven't done one there this yet, but I know previously we had done, they do conference calls with the different major employers and school districts, and you kind of just letting them know what we're seeing and what our plans are for that particular day. Okay.
Well, I know I've traveled Island Grove Road a couple times here coming into Bloomington, and you've been doing a great job on that. So does anybody else have any questions or comments? All right. Well, I appreciate you all for attending, and this is, I'm sorry, Member Klein.
Sorry, I don't have a question for Mr. Stokes, a general question. So it's my understanding that Mr. Webb had contacted the administrator about the meeting time. Is that true? Or at least Morlock?
This is Camille. Mr. Webb did send an email and mentioned that he had spoken to the chairman perhaps when they initially met. So I don't know how else to comment on that. I mean, I have not had a discussion with Mr. Webb about this at this time. What is your question?
Oh, well, he has expressed to several of us concern. He's a school teacher and can never attend an 8 a.m. Meeting. And so that needs to be resolved. Either we move the meeting time or there's a reassignment because as an active school teacher, it won't be possible for him to attend. So he said he contacted, I believe, Chairman Soldner and others, but.
Let me look here at my email from him because what he had told me, I want to make sure this is right. he was unable to be in attendance during his teaching schedule. The first day of school is Tuesday, so I'll not be able to get a sub, unlike possible future meetings. So it sounded to me like what he meant was that because this is the first day of school coming back, that he couldn't make that, but possibly in the future he may be able to have subs. But again, he did say it was an ongoing conflict. So I know that the chairman's aware of it, and so hopefully we'll find a way to rectify it one way or another.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Well, again, thank you all for being here today. And unless someone has something else, I believe we are adjourned.